What is up, Cabbage Crew? It is Matt and John here. We're going to be going ahead and reviewing Dragon Prince Book 2, Sky. The entire season we're going to be reviewing, giving you guys our general thoughts. We do have reactions for every episode of Season 2, as well as individual reviews of Season 1. So definitely check those out. If you guys have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support of a couple guys that have been following us along the way. So definitely keep commenting. Definitely keep suggesting our channel to friends that like Dragon Prince, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and other shows in that realm we're going to be reacting to.
And
John,
before we go into the deep dive, please comment, Cabbage Crew. What other shows would you like us to see?
Yes. Yeah, like we talked about last time, we are going to be watching. Yeah, like like we said last time, we are going to be watching Invincible. I have already seen Invincible back when it came out. Season 1 came out maybe 3 years ago. John disappeared.
I'm invincible.
Oh, it's not invisible. It's invincible.
I said invincible.
You went away like invisible, but it's invincible. Like Vince, like I'm invincible.
Like Vince McMahon? All right, got it.
Gotcha. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be rewatching that show, but John's going to be getting his first real reactions to it. So excited for that. John, let's go ahead and now deep dive into the entire season. I think me and you can both agree last season was a little shaky. We liked a lot of episodes. We liked a lot of episodes. We didn't like a lot of episodes. A lot of times it was scene to scene on the writing. A lot of times it was scene to scene on, I would even say, like character growth and stuff. Like we there was a lot of twists and turns. There was a couple, especially the last little mini arc of maybe the 2 or 3 episodes at the end. There was some plot things we didn't like.
Yes, correct.
Season 2,
all over the place. It was a roller coaster. Season 1 was a roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
Down. It's like the one of our famous shorts, which check it out if you haven't already seen. It's like the famous it's when you're climbing up and you're going and then you're going down.
Yeah, yeah. Check out our shorts too, guys. Come on now. No, yes. This last season was a roller coaster. Not a great roller coaster. I love Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. Not like the Great Bear, where twists and turns and it's all exciting. It was more like the Wildcat, which is a little bumpy, not really that big of hills, to be honest. But overall, you walk off it and you're like, I guess that was all right. That was pretty enjoyable at times.
It was all right.
This season, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Hershey Park, but the Storm Runner, where you're just climbing up a big hill and it's going up and it's still going up and you're pumped. That's where we're at now.
Yep.
We're pumped. Season 2 was very good. Hopefully that analogy really worked. The season 2 was great. I think it did start semi-slow. Not slow, but like it was okay. It was pretty good. But I think that last 4 episodes or so, I think really crushed it. You had the flashbacks and really learning the back history of the kingdoms and Callum's mother and just learning more about how the war started, but how certain situations that they have set up have kind of began. And really the last couple episodes from there ramped it up. So I know we talked a little bit already about some of the things, but I mean, overall, I just want to hear kind of what you talked about, kind of talked about last episode, to be honest, but your overall impressions of the season. And then we can dig into a couple other things.
Yeah, it was great.
Just watch the last 4.5 minutes of our previous reaction. We tried it on the season finales and not really talk about anything at the end and then talk about more, but we kind of talked a little bit too much. But no, overall reactions of the season, John, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so it was very. I thought it was really really good. Um, I want to keep watching more and more and more. Like if I
Mhm.
thought season one was good enough to keep watching, this is making me like, all right, time to put on the treadmill on fast lane. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm very much excited. Last four you hit on the nail on the head there with they got us a lot of information about Callum's mother, and then uh
Mm.
yeah, Callum and Ezrin's mother, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, yeah, because they show the mom. Um, and then the
Corvus.
the huh?
I don't know Corvus. I don't know. Wait, I don't know anything about.
No, not Corvus. The moms, the two moms.
Oh, I don't know their names, but yes,
But whose mom?
Anya's mother.
Anya.
Anya's mothers. Yeah.
Yes, Anya's mother or moms. Um, and yeah, like just explaining that history and
Mhm.
the magma giant
Yes, that was a really good episode.
with more world building in terms of like creatures and monsters and
Yep.
like how to destroy them
Mhm.
and showing the self-sacrifice that uh both female leaders did, and I think that's what I really admire. I actually really admired that this season. It showed a lot of strong female characters, and it didn't like put it in your face about
Right.
it.
I would. Yep.
It was more of um, a heroic journey and venture that I don't know if it's Aaron E has or the writer
Yeah.
of the show put in, but like that's the way good storytelling is that it's
Mhm.
not in your face and it's not um there's no politicizing it, there's
Mhm.
no um there's just no it being direct. It's like you know it's direct in a different way, I guess.
It's
With
hard to explain, really. It really is.
yeah
It's a touchy subject, and it's hard to explain because
yeah
a lot of people complain like, "Oh man, they're making females a little bit too strong, or they're doing this, or like." And it's like Avatar, in my opinion, does it very well. It's like you have to be. It's a fine line where it's like you have to be able to do something that is kind of political in the sense of like strong female character or gay couple or whatever that might be, whatever, even like just trying to you know characters, black characters or characters of color or
Mhm.
characters of certain backgrounds or whatever, without putting it into the face of the audience, so you're like, so you have to love this character.
Right.
And this show, Avatar, does it very well. This show does it very well. um from Amaya, not only being deaf, but also being a strong female character. I forgot the mother's name, but Callum's mother being a badass character as well. And
It's like
and
Sarah. That's just it's like sort of
yeah,
an S. It's
I
like a
don't remember, to be honest.
R. Yeah.
Yeah, but and Claudia is becoming a really well character. Like every female character is done well. I know you really liked Anya. So
Mhm.
there's the unnamed character, the blonde girl that keeps coming in and trying to spoil his plans. So yeah, I mean, the only disappointment I have in the last like 4 episodes is there's no Grant. I don't know what's going on with him, but I really want
Right.
more of him.
There's no ground.
But no, but overall, um, I think we've really liked it. I
Because
mean, we talked.
just to add on real quick with
Yeah,
Amaya, like she's the first like strong female character that we got introduced to in season one, and
I mean Rayla, but yeah.
well, okay, yes, you're right, but I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. Duh. But what I mean is like what I meant to really dive into there is like not only is she a strong female character, but she also has a disability. Like
Mhm.
they tackled the first one and the second one.
Rayla was
Uh,
getting close. She almost lost her arm.
yep, yep, yep.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, it was just like introduced in a interesting way because like, I remember from season one. I know we're talking about season two, but I just remember in season one where like they introduced her being deaf with them just putting it in there about the sign language, and I was not expecting it, to be honest, and I was like, oh, interesting, like this is where they're going, but yeah, so yeah, this show's done very well with strong female characters, and I'm excited to see more of their development, both Amaya, Rayla, and even Claudia. So
I will say I just randomly thought about it, so kind of off topic. But the father figure of Rayla, I forgot his name. Is he just still chilling in the dungeon? We have not gone back to that character since I think they went back to him for like a split second.
Yeah.
Do you maybe think this is going ahead and well, I'll wait. So let's real quick. We talk about all the positives, and there's a couple things that we've talked about here and there. I loved some of the things they did with Claudia, especially in the last couple episodes. I still that deer scene is still like top tier for me. Like, oh my god!
Oh
Put that next to Iroh crying next to a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that was a great scene. I was like, oh my god, I was shocked. But
Runon is his name.
Yes, I'll talk about him in a second. But any negatives? Any negatives
about season two?
About season two in general. I think overall, me and you really like season two.
Yes.
Overall, I think every episode was a positive episode, where I would say maybe 3 or 4 were borderline negative in season one. Like even the episodes I feel like weren't as good, like episode 8, they were still good episodes. And I understand. Sure. I it's more of, this isn't my cup of tea, or I wish this scene was different, or I thought something was a little like, I think Callum's dream was not as well done as it could have been. Yeah. But like overall, I'm not hating on the episode. Is there anything that you were negative about with the season?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I would say
comedy landed well too.
Comedy landed. Like it wasn't. It was not.
They didn't try it as much either, especially the last like 3 or 4 episodes. They did not try hitting like the first 2 or 3 episodes. You can almost tell was the same. I hate saying same writer because I don't know if it's been different writers every episode or what, but you can tell it's the same vibe.
Yeah.
Much like, again, going back to Avatar, the first like 3 or 4 episodes of season 2 kind of gives you that same vibe of season 1. And then there was that turning point right around the Voyage episode, maybe even the flashback episodes, like episode 5 or so. And you started getting like, all right, the jokes are done. Like some jokes here and there, but the jokes are kind of gone now. And now we're getting a little bit more serious. And when they are jokes, they land. So, do you want to think of any negatives?
I no, because I think it went pretty well. With even like the Viren stuff went pretty well with like the 4 kingdoms and the Pentarchy.
Yeah.
And him using magic to put in assassins and say, go to Durin, go to here. Them, and then the situation even before then where he's trying to explain the situation at home in Totalis, and then it's all about Queen Anya, and everyone's like a yes, and she's like no, like that was a good thing to show, like a child. Not to say that children should be disobedient to adults, but like it's just like children have their own minds too,
Yeah, I love how he gave us this like two episode story to convince her, and she's still I love that. I would say the only semi-negative there was, and this isn't even a negative, you pointed out a couple of times, there were some tropes and some things that they did to speed things up that I wish they paced it differently. Like, for instance, I know one big one was, I think, in episode 3 where they left the campsite, or they left, the mountain. And like, they were so close to the mountain when they got attacked, they could have screamed for help. I mean, you're talking like eye distance. Would have, like certain things where I'm like, I wish they maybe have traveled and then like that night attacked, and then it's like, okay, you're maybe 5 miles from camp.
Yeah.
It just, there's certain, again, tropes we talked about with Claudia and the love, pretending that she was, liking him and him falling for it and her tricking him. And so there's some tropes here and there, but they were for the most part done well enough where we're like, we can get by it. Before you talk, I'll just say that I said this at the end of last episode, so I'm going to repeat myself, but I just figured I'd throw in here that I think that, well, I don't know if I said it or not, but it's like, I just think that certain things that this show have done, like tropes, for instance, is one of them. It's like they do certain things a certain way, and maybe it's not great for now, but it's better for the greater good.
Yeah,
is the best way of looking at it. Marvel did that. Marvel kind of did it too. It's like, oh, they would do like an Ant-Man movie or something where you're like, there's a kind of a lame villain, and they always used to say it was a cookie cutter, same plot, but it's like, yes, but it's leading to something, and we just have to kind of get through the origin. It's like, could they explain the magic of how Callum got Sky Magic? Probably a little bit better, yes. Could they have explained certain things better and done certain things better in season 1? 100%. But now that we're where we're at, we feel good about it, and that's kind of where I'm getting to.
I will say, yes, and obviously the example to that would be the Sky Magic trope, and in season 1 where Ezran just says, "I can talk to animals."
Right, that was a perfect example. Yes,
yeah. And it's just about accepting that fact of like, this is their power, and we didn't know it before for whatever reason. Right. But reflecting back a little bit, and just like looking back, like between episodes 1 and 9.
First season, yes.
of the second season. Yeah.
So all of them. Yes. Okay.
No, just between episode 1 of season 2 to episode 9 of season 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just didn't like the pirate now. Like, reflecting back.
No, I actually agree. I was thinking of it because I was like, the worst 2 episodes coincidentally have him in it, which is the voyage episode and the dream sequence. Yeah. And it's like, and obviously it's not his, the dream sequence had nothing to do with it, but I agree. I think the pirate, it was fine for what it was, and I thought it was really funny. Like, oh, how are we gonna find a pirate? How are we gonna find
it was probably used as a bridge to get to.
It was used as a bridge. I also did not like in that episode where he was just trying to get shocked by lightning. Again, kind of a trope. I wish the lightning thing, that would be, I guess, my biggest negative. I wish they did a good job with a couple things coming back around. And I love things like that, where it's like you talk about it in episode 2 or 3, then it comes back around in episode 9. You're like, oh, that's why they explained that in episode 2 or 3. Him trying to get shocked by lightning, it's like, and then it didn't work. It's like, I almost wish there was just, when I think of dragons, I think of sky. I would think that the dragons are the sky, have the sky, what's it called? The sky, Arcanum in them. They do, because Zem early had it.
Yeah.
I would have thought that maybe that when he saves that dragon, something were to happen. Either the dragon passes away and breathes on him, and somehow it gets inside of him. Something, blood drops on him, whatever you want to say. Yeah. And boom, that is now why he has the energy inside of him, because it's almost like the dragon gave it to him when he passes, or something like. And that would have been such a more easy way of doing it than. And again, it could have been like he used dark magic to save the dragon, so maybe even the dream sequence could have had the dragon in it, and the dragon could have breathed on him in it, and then it's like, okay, it's just they did that so poorly, in my opinion, that it doesn't take anything away from the season or anything like that, but it's just. Maybe they'll explain it later, but I just don't understand how he got the Arcanum inside of him when all he did was breathe. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
And then there's some of our followers that are saying, Matt, you're thinking too hard about this.
No, but that's what makes the great shows great. You know,
Yeah, I
when,
know,
when you
just
can
saying.
sit there and say every little thing in Avatar: The Last Airbender makes sense. You know,
Sure.
from everything, and it's like, well, what
I know.
about this? Oh, I can explain it. Don't worry, give me
Exactly.
2 seconds. I'll get, you know,
Yep.
and every little thing makes sense, and it's like, and that's what makes some shows and magic. I'm not even saying shows, just magic worlds and you know the science behind certain shows. That's what
Mhm.
makes some, like for instance Breaking Bad. They were like, we are going to find out how to make meth and then we are going to do it. And so then some scientists can't be like, this is BS. Like, no, they're like, oh no, that's actually really how you do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same kind, it's the same thing, you know. And sometimes I even think Harry Potter has weaknesses where it's like, that could have been done better. And Harry Potter is obviously huge, but I mean, that's why I think we love Avatar: Last Airbender so much, because we always talk about how it's a perfect show, and a lot of that has to do with the world building and magic and of the show and the rules the show creates. So the rule creates a idea that animals have something inside of them that allow them to use magic or allow that being to be a magic creature. We see it in Zem, we see it in Bait, we see it in Rayla, but humans don't have it. How does he get it besides just having a dream and then breathing?
Right.
And that takes me out of it for a second. Now, if it,
Well,
you know,
obviously, not obviously, but I would imagine that Callum has it. And again, we don't know, but my prediction is that he has some kind of bloodline that makes it.
you know, I was actually thinking of that Guardians of the Galaxy 1. You're like, how is
Mm,
he able to hold an Infinity Stone? They just explained that humans can't do it. And then at the end, they're like, you got something inside of you, man. It ain't just human. You're
right.
half human and half something else. And he's like,
Right.
oh. So maybe in season 3, you'll find out that maybe like his mother had
Was
something
part
inside of
elf?
her, or
Was
maybe
part
her
elf or
mother.
something?
Yeah, maybe his mother was half elf or something. Well, but that would make him moon, not sky. So sky or dragons.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, by him sacrificing himself or using dark magic to save a dragon, I was hoping that like somehow, some way, because dark magic's only been used to kill dragons, so he's using it to save a dragon. So I was hoping
Mm-hmm.
somehow, some way would like explain that by him doing that, it gave him like the dragon, when it got away, somehow, some way, like either dropped blood on him or breathed on him or something to make him get the power.
I see. Yeah.
But I mean, the episode was called Breathe. I was like, oh, maybe. But yeah, I mean, that's my only critique, really. Like that, and like, I'm sorry, I
Just
went
the
off a little bit,
tropes. Yeah.
but that, the tropes, and then I don't hate the pirate. It was just that was kind of a bridge.
No, I mean,
Episode.
I was just trying to compare between the beginning episodes and the last half of the season. Like,
Yeah.
just those 2 episodes are not. They're like kind of honestly forgettable now with the
Yeah.
with the pirate, and it's like
Was the pirate in 2 episodes or 1?
2. Well, technically
What?
3 if you count the.
I thought he was only so.
Well, no, if you're counting the dream, he shows
No,
up.
I'm not counting the dream. So you had the last 4 episodes, and then you had the 3, and then the 2 voyage episodes, and then the last 4.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, you're right. I thought he was only in 1 episode. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because they were like, "There's the land," and then the episode ended.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So quick predictions. Before I forget, I just want to make a quick prediction. I don't even think it's right, but I said it earlier. That guy Ronan or whatever, he disappeared. Ronan. Sorry if I got his name wrong. I haven't seen him since episode 2. What if he's the guy in the mirror?
I mean,
somehow, some way, that's related.
We don't know. We don't know.
I know. Because the guy in the mirror is an elf.
But somehow, why is Viren like taken by him? You know what I mean? Like he's like,
yeah. Well, maybe that's like, I don't know. I don't know who that guy is. That's my only guess.
Aravos.
Aravos. Yes. My only guess is that Aravos is maybe an elf that started using dark magic, and it corrupted him. and so he wants to use like Varen as like a vessel to do his dirty work because he can't
Well,
do it
that's what I'm
anymore.
saying. That's why I said, yeah. I
Yeah,
said that before, yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Season
think
three
I don't think that's correct, but
I don't think it is either. That's why I just wanted to say it.
but it's an interesting concept.
I don't know where we're heading, man. I have no idea where we're heading. Like I could kind of get an idea of like I kind of predicted season 2. I was like, like the
Well,
brother sister are gonna probably turn and they're gonna continue their void. Like I don't know what the heck. I have no idea what's gonna happen next.
Well, can you at least come on my side now?
Oh,
And and because like Ezran heard or saw whatever Zim in trouble and the Jane in trouble, Rayla and Callum. Can you, in your prediction last episode, you predicted that Ezran was going to go back to them. So do you think now that he saw them in trouble and didn't go back, that either he's going to get captured by Claudia and Soren, and then they're going to meet up later, or do you actually think Ezra's going to actually go back and Viren is going to hold him in the dungeon? Maybe he's a kid.
Just another Avatar reference. I know we throw him a lot at you, but I almost feel as though we're now at season 2 Zuko for Claudia and Soren, which is they were given a task by their father in some way. They've realized that task isn't necessarily what they want, and now they are turning a new leaf. Now Zuko goes up and down. I don't think their road's going to be the same. I think they now know our father manipulated us. He told us to murder our friends. He lied to each, he basically lied to us by telling the other person something else. Soren very much seems like he's turned a new leaf, understanding that what his actions have hurt other people and himself. Claudia obviously has hurt a new leaf. Like I said, if she really wanted to capture him, she would have captured Ezran in the woods by themselves, like if she really wanted to. So I think they're no longer caring about capturing them.
So then
I will agree with you. I think Ezran will go back to the castle.
Okay. And then, but with Claudia and Soren, now, do you think
they're in that town?
Huh?
They're in that town,
right? But do you think that Soren and Claudia are gonna like fight off Viren? Like, I feel like eventually that might be where they're going. But do you think it's gonna be an immediate thing where they're gonna like say, like, "Hey, Ezran's king. He's here. He's the king now." Or do you think they're gonna play hush hush a little bit, pretend that Viren is still, because they have the dragon horn or the dragon thing.
True.
And so like, do you think that they're gonna play hush hush, or do you think, and eventually do the?
I can almost see them going back and lying and saying that Ezran's dead. They killed him, and here's the dragon horn.
But then Ezra's going to show up, isn't he?
And then Ezra's going to show up. Yeah.
That might be it. Might.
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, man, I felt like it's at the end of season 1. I had a lot of pretty decent predictions that went through, but kind of went true, or like almost went true. Like I had a feeling. I was like, Claudia and Soren aren't going to be evil. Like by the end of season 2, they're going to be semi-redeemed, maybe even join the group. I felt like I kind of knew, all right, the main crew is going to go through a travel. They're going to be traveling towards their location where the dragons are. And they did that. Obviously with Zim getting born, it's like, okay, they're going to have a little relationship with Zim, and like everything we kind of sort of were, I wouldn't say predicted, because obviously we didn't predict it all right. And there was a lot of stuff, but I do feel like we had an idea of where we were going.
Yeah.
At the end of this season, I have no idea where we're going. So,
which is a good thing. That means
which is a good thing. No, which is a good thing. That's exactly a good thing.
They are doing their jobs.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I'm good. If you're done, if you want to talk about anything else,
Abbott Crew, where do you think season 2 is going?
If you haven't watched the show yet,
or season 3 is going, where do you think the next season's going?
Don't spoil anything.
If you've seen it in the show, of course. But please comment below on your predictions.
Yes, do, and we again appreciate you guys reacting, or reacting to our reactions.
Yes, and being patient with technical difficulties when they arise.
Well, hopefully by the end of the
Speaking of
3 weeks ago.
Speaking of technical difficulties,
the technical difficulties would have happened already 3 weeks ago, because we are very ahead. But yes, we had some. We're still learning how to do the reaction stuff, so we're getting there. But yeah, guys, we're gonna be putting out probably simultaneously. I can't speak right now.
Simultaneously.
We're gonna be putting out simultaneously. At the same time, we're gonna be putting out most likely season 3 of Dragon Prince and Invincible. That most likely is going to happen. We'll let you know our schedule. We'll get there.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.